from Canada to the UK to Germany to Asia to Africa to Central and South America, increasingly the world is calling for a boycott against Donald Trump, his regime, and all things USA right now. Canada led the way in its boycott back when Donald Trump started talking about 51st state and Governor Trudeau. Back over a year ago, Canadians went elbows up and they started boycotting tourism into the United States, as well as boycotting American products in Canada. That was very successful. The rest of the world took notice, but didn't do the boycott to the extent of Canada. And now with Donald Trump's behavior, with the terrorism taking place in the United States, with the Border Patrol and ICE Gestapo, with Donald Trump's military threats and tariff threats against the rest of the world, the desire to boycott America has hit a fever pitch. And for example, we're seeing in Denmark, after Donald Trump's recent threats to invade Greenland and the heinous things Trump was saying about Denmark, in Denmark, there's an app which allows people to scan products to see if it has connections to the United States. That app is like the most popular app. And whereas like in the App Store, you get like 200,000 downloads or so a day. In Denmark right now, mostly all of the downloads are this one app. In order to avoid U.S. products. Now, yesterday morning, before Donald Trump's Border Patrol Gestapo murdered a completely innocent man, Alex Jeffrey Peretti, the Trump regime woke up and Donald Trump started attacking Canada. And Donald Trump posted the following. If Governor Carney, referring to Prime Minister Carney, he goes, if Governor Carney thinks he's going to make Canada a drop-off port for China to send goods and products into the United States, he is sorely mistaken. China will eat Canada alive, completely devour it, including the destruction of their businesses, social fabric, and general way of life. If Canada makes a deal with China, it will immediately be hit with a 100% tariff against all Canadian goods and products coming into the USA. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President DJT. And then Donald Trump follows it up with, the last thing the world needs is to have China take over Canada. It's not going to happen or even come close to happening. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. And many expected that Donald Trump was going to behave this way after Prime Minister Carney gave a speech to a standing ovation in Davos, Switzerland, talking about multilateralism, cooperation, respecting the sovereignty of other countries, becoming great partners with other countries. Then you contrast that to Donald Trump's speech, where he ranted and raved like a lunatic. He confused his desire to invade Greenland and he called it Iceland. Then he referred to it as a block of ice that was poorly located. And then he went on to attack the UK and other NATO soldiers who died and were seriously injured fighting with United States forces when the US was the only country in NATO history to invoke Article 5 after 9/11, and NATO sent troops to Afghanistan. Donald Trump essentially called the troops in NATO from other countries suckers and losers, was basically what Donald Trump said. He said they really weren't on the front lines and they weren't really there for us. Tell that to the families who lost loved ones fighting alongside the United States on the front lines in Afghanistan. Tell that to the soldiers who returned from the front lines who have been injured and severely injured to this day. Tell that to them. And people were livid and absolutely pissed at Donald Trump for saying that. And then, of course, Donald Trump threatened that he was going to impose 10% and 25 or 30% tariffs on countries that wouldn't allow him to invade Greenland. And then he said he made a deal with Greenland and Denmark, but Trump just came up with like a fake deal that nobody ever agreed to, where he claimed he was going to get like sovereignty over certain locations within Greenland, and Greenland never agreed to that. And then he started making posts about himself and others in the regime walking with penguins in Greenland when Greenland doesn't have penguins. I mean, just the most despicable behavior. And then he goes and attacks Canada, as you saw what he did right there. The boycott calls against the Trump regime are coming from lots of different places. A German football executive from the German Football Association, Gottlich, who's a senior executive in the German Football Association. He says it's time to consider a boycott of the 2026 World Cup. Lots of football fans or soccer fans, depending on soccer in America, football everywhere else, throughout the rest of the world. They're like, why would we want to come to America? Y'all are a terrorist state. We're going to show up and get killed by ICE and Border Patrol, Gestapo. We're going to get thrown into concentration camps. Why would we want to be there? And why would we want to support a regime who's attacking the rest of the world, who's attacking our countries, who's attacking the world order, who Donald Trump just wakes up and then starts offending the sovereignty and offending these countries every day? We don't want to be a part of it. And so this executive at the German Football Association said, I really wonder, is the time now? When's the time that we need to think about a boycott concretely? And he says, for me, the time has definitely come. And others are echoing that message as well. Boycott USA was one of the most viral hashtags across all social media platforms over the past 24 to 48 hours. And while Donald Trump's ICE and Gestapo murdered Alex Jeffrey Peretti yesterday in Minneapolis, Donald Trump, in addition to labeling the individual that was murdered, the ICU nurse at the veterans at the VA in Minneapolis, a domestic terrorist, Donald Trump started posting photos of himself like this. Donald Trump's Brave New World. Donald Trump, just bizarre stuff. In China, their Xinhua News was posting photos and AI videos saying, even if there were penguins in Greenland, it would be like this. And it's Uncle Sam dragging a penguin by the neck, showing that US is an exploitive nation that is going to destroy the world order. And again, this world boycott right now is picking up steam.
2026 has just begun, and if you're anything like me, you want this year to feel different. More energy, better focus, faster recovery, just operating at a higher level. But maybe you've already noticed that you just don't have the energy you used to. Struggling with brain fog, slow recovery, or feeling worn down, even when you're doing everything right? Well, there's a reason for that. By age 30, NAD levels drop by nearly 50%. That means I'm there already. And that impacts everything. Your energy, your recovery, your brain function. That's why I've been taking Row Nutrition's liposomal NAD, and the difference is real. Clean, sustained energy, sharper focus, and faster recovery without the crash you get from caffeine or stimulants. NAD is essential for mitochondrial function, the powerhouses of your cells that keep your body energized and your mind sharp. And until recently, replenishing NAD meant expensive trips to a clinic. Row's advanced liposomal delivery is designed to help your body absorb it efficiently. No clinic visits, no crazy price tag. I've been using Row's liposomal NAD for weeks now, and it's just a total game changer, honestly. Pro athletes, trainers, and health experts are making it a staple in their routine because it works. If you want to start 2026 feeling your best, you can try it risk-free with a 60-day money-back guarantee. Plus, get 20% off with code MIDAS at rownutrition.com. Again, that's code MIDAS for 20% off at rownutrition.com. RHO nutrition.com, code MIDAS, MEIDAS.
I just want to share this with you as well, because a week ago when Donald Trump was asked about Prime Minister Carney's trip to Beijing, where Carney met with Xi Jinping and they discussed a $1 trillion strategic trade pact, electric vehicles coming into Canada, liquefied natural gas being purchased by China from Canada, canola, other products. Again, $1 trillion. Carney made a brilliant deal with Xi Jinping. Donald Trump was asked about it when that went down, when Carney was traveling to China. Trump was asked, what do you make of the trade deal? And Donald Trump was like, I think it's a good idea. I think that Prime Minister Carney should do that. Good for him. And now Donald Trump posted that he's Governor Carney, again, disrespecting Prime Minister Carney, who's got historic highs popularity in Canada right now, and then threatening 100% tariffs against Canada for it entering into a trade agreement with China. It's precisely why countries need to do trade deals with others other than the United States. Here's what Trump said a week ago, and you'll see the post side by side. Play this clip.
How do you see the deals Canada and China have just signed, trade deals between the two partners?
Well, it's okay. That's what he should be doing. And it's a good thing for him to sign a trade deal. If you can get a deal with China, you should do that.
And now CBC put together a collection of the contrasting clips from Prime Minister Carney and Trump's speeches at the World Economic Forum. Let's play this.
We live in an era of great power rivalry.
USA is the economic engine on the planet.
That the rules-based order is fading.
When America booms, the entire world booms.
That the strong can do what they can and the weak must suffer what they must.
It's been the history. When it goes bad, it goes bad.
For decades, countries like Canada prospered under what we called the rules-based international order. This bargain no longer works.
Quite frankly, many parts of our world are being destroyed before our very eyes, and the leaders don't even understand what's happening.
We are in the midst of a rupture, not a transition. Great powers have begun using economic integration as weapons.
Raising tariffs on foreign nations to pay for the damage that they've caused.
We stand firmly with Greenland and Denmark and fully support their unique right to determine Greenland's future.
All the United States is asking for is a place called Greenland. We gave it back. But how ungrateful are they now?
Canada was amongst the first to hear the wake-up call.
Canada gets a lot of freebies from us, by the way. They should be grateful also, but they're not.
We actively take on the world as it is, not wait around for a world we wish to be.
I watched your prime minister yesterday. He wasn't so grateful. But they should be grateful to us.
We are no longer just relying on the strength of our values, but also the value of our strength.
Canada lives because of the United States. Remember that, Mark, the next time you make your statements.
The middle powers must act together because if we're not at the table, we're on the menu. We know the old order is not coming back. We shouldn't mourn it.
They called me daddy, right, last time? A very smart man said, he's our daddy.
The powerful have their power.
We are the hottest country anywhere in the world.
But we have something too. The capacity to stop pretending, to name reality, to build our strength at home, and to act together.
Carney's official Prime Minister account posted the photo of himself with China's ministers and others after Donald Trump posted the message, and Prime Minister Carney talked about strengthening Canada's strategic interests, partnerships, diversifying trade, and attracting investment to support good jobs and long-term growth of Canadians. And then Prime Minister Carney posted this in response to Donald Trump's attacks, which is, I think, also a nod towards a boycott that's been raging in Canada against the U.S. And it's been devastating the U.S. tourism industry. It's been devastating the U.S. Whiskey, bourbon, and other alcohol industries here. Buy Canada. Buy Canada. Here's Prime Minister Carney saying, now is the time to fight for our values. Here, let's play this clip right here.
What makes Canada a great country? It's a great country for everyone. It's the greatest country in the world to be a regular person. You don't have to be born rich or to a landed family here. You don't have to be a certain color or worship a certain God. Canadians believe in the value of every other Canadian. Their boundless potential to make this great country even better. Our ancestors, despite their differences, believed in each other and in us. Now, there are long periods of history where these values can prosper unchallenged. Ours is not one of them. Our values must be fought for. That's what we are doing. That's what Canadians want. Canadians are up for it.
And again, we're seeing throughout social media others talking about this boycott. I believe sincerely that the boycott FIFA, boycott World Cup, that's going to only pick up steam. More countries are going to say, and the people in the countries are going to say, why the hell are we supporting any aspect of the United States? I mean, you saw Keir Starmer, who's been pretty weak when it comes to Donald Trump. You know, he's been put on the defense right now with his utter weakness there. And any leader, you know, and any leader who's not fighting for the sovereignty of their people and not pushing back against Trump, I think, you know, is going to get crap. I mean, look at Denmark right now. In Denmark, there's been a complete reversal in the polls from the right-wing party that was more pro-Trump, and now you see a swing towards, you know, the current governing party, the current bloc. But in general, too, everybody there, whether you're right-wing, left-wing, center in Europe, you're anti-Trump because Trump is attacking your country and attacking your sovereignty. So we'll keep you posted every step of the way. Thanks for watching, and we'll keep you posted no matter what. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million subscribers, and thanks, everybody.
New Midas merch. Head to store.MeidasTouch.com today and get yourself the best pro-democracy gear and show your support. That's store.MeidasTouch.com.